Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. Today we will make a necklace with a pendant using this Jesse James beads. This is really pretty. I'm hoping that this will be 18 millimeter, 22 millimeter. I don't know how big this is. Let me find that out for you guys. Um, yeah, it's 20 millimeter, and this one is also very pretty. And this one is 15 millimeter. So I have grabbed all of these beads, and this one, oh, it fell down. So this one, you can see it has that what to say, that kind of a texture in it. It looks really pretty and glossy, and I thought of using this, but I didn't. This one is glass bead. It has that foiled inside tube kind of a thing. So I pulled out these beads looked good to me, the order that they are in. I wanted a bottom one, so I picked this. Maybe I will change my mind. I really wanted something glossy like that, but then this one feels to be a little bit odd. But I don't know, when I figure this design out, maybe I will change this for this. And I was pulling out beads like fall colors like green, but I couldn't find anything in green per se. I'm not a green person actually, so I don't have that much green beads in my stash. So it was hard for me to find some green beads. And then this one is also, the color combo is good, but let's see. This one is blue, so I'm thinking I'll stick to this or this per se. Yeah, I think this one is better than that. So I'm going bold here, so it's okay, I guess. Let me just check one more time if I have anything. Like designing on the beads, that's what takes much more time than your design per se. I have this bicone green, but this is, as you can see, this one is nice. I wanted something like that, like jazzy, I would say, in the end. Why I feel that, I have no idea, but that I know that that's what I'm looking forward for. um but I'm not finding any of it, so I'm just going to go with this is what I think I'll go with. Or even these daisy spacers, that kind of looks good. Actually, that kind of looks good. Or this one right here. This might flip. So this one right here. Maybe I can do a wrap loop here. That looks good to me. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, I have here some 20 gauge wire. This is from Michaels, and these beads. So I'm going to create a pendant, but for that I'm going to take about, say, a foot of wire. I'm just eyeballing how much I need. It's better to have more than less. So I cut myself a foot of wire, and then what I'm going to do, go ahead and do is do a wrap loop on the top. So take my round nose pliers. Okay, it's about an inch or so, you don't need more. Actually, 3/4 of an inch is more than enough, but I want this loop to be nice and big because it's a pendant, and I don't want this to be small. Can you see how big that is? So that's the one I want. So now you switch, take your pliers and hold your loop, and then do the wrap. Right? So once you're happy with the number of wraps, I can do one more. I can hold this with the round nose pliers and take my pliers and kind of there we go. Now go ahead and tuck the tail properly. Okay, here we have our loop. I haven't straightened the wire, so I'm just going to straighten the wire with my fingers. It's a 20 gauge wire. If you run your fingers through a couple of times, it's gonna get straightened because of the warmth of your hand and the fingers. And then first I'm going to drop this bead down here. So before that, maybe I will pop a small spacer bead right here, just to cover the top hole. It has a big hole, so I'll just put that first, and then this bead right here. And then as you can see, this one has like a bicone effect, so it goes and sits nicely around this. So I like the way it sits. Then comes this square bead. I really like this bead. It looks like a pillow to me, like a candy, I would say. So then I would go ahead with one of these. So it just kind of feels good to me, or not. So even this daisy spacer will work. Right, that's pretty. Now go ahead and do the elongated bead, right? And again, daisy spacer maybe. You're putting together stuff, right? And then I want this to be in the bottom, right? But I want this to be okay. Now I take my, see this, I want this loop here and this one right here. Straighten that out a bit like that, and then I hold this here, bend this wire, reposition my pliers, do a bigger loop right here, okay, to host our ring. So now I want this to be perpendicular to the rest of the beads. So this is what I want, right? This is how I want that to sit. So I'm just going to hold it like that. Okay, take the wire, bend it around, go back, and I'm just wrapping it. I didn't leave much of a gap here, as you can see. Just shape it with your fingers. It just comes naturally. And then come back, and then go ahead and wrap it around your previous wraps, just like so. See this? You can adjust it later. I want this to be like this and like that. I like the way this turned out to be. I know this square is on the side, but that's okay for me. So if you're happy with it, go ahead and snip that. The wire is perfect for me. As you guys can see, this wire came out to be perfect uh, for this project. So it's better to have more than less. And the pendant is done. It looks like a snowflake ornament too, but I really like this kind of a long pendant for my necklace. So for the necklace part, what I was thinking is I have here this bugle beads. So I'm going to use this bugle beads and create a necklace for this pendant. So I'm gonna string some and come back. Hi friends, welcome back. I figured this pattern out. I pulled out some beads from this mix. I have quite a lot of orange, yellow, brown, like fall color except for green. I have all those colors. So I figured out a pattern. I used this yellow beads that I used in the pendant to just kind of, mimic whatever I have here. And the yellow, I pulled it in a couple of beads. As you can see, these are, I think, 6 millimeter, maybe 5 millimeter, I don't know. So the orange and then the yellow, and then a seed bead as well, the 6/0 seed bead. And this one is transparent, it has a pattern and it has some red in it. So, and then this is like a flat bicone kind of, and then this one is like brownish, and this one is faceted and it's like a drug bead, and this one, and then a roundel in the brown as well. So I pulled all of this with some 11 seed beads, which is this antique gold color that I used, and then also, as I said, I use the bugle beads, the orange one. So it's like a sweater kind of a necklace. It's long, it's pretty long. I just it's like as long as 24 inches for this beaded section. And then I used this beadalon bead stringing wire 7 strand in a red color, 0.018 inch thickness. And then I used those, and then I pulled out some jump rings for myself and lobster claw clasp. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some crimp beads or crimp tubes. You can use any of that, whichever you have in stash. I have this available in my stash, so I'm just going to use it. So the crimp bead that you're going to use, this is not a branded one, but if you are using it, then it will say what size it is. I just estimate, and on top of your package of your wire, it will mention crimp bead /1, crimp tube /2. See, number 2. You can use number 2 crimp tube, which is what I'm using right now. So I'm just going to put my crimp tube first. Okay, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm just going to bring this element of this thing in the back as well. I'm going to put this through and then put this through this tube. In a moment it will be clear for you guys why I'm doing that. I'll explain it to you guys, and just push this through a couple of beads if I can, and then pull this all the way here. Okay, so I just pull this. I don't want a small loop, I want rather a big loop so that this can move freely. So I don't want to tighten it up more, and I'm good with this size of a loop. And then go ahead and crimp that crimp tube. Okay, now I have this. What I will go do is take my jump ring here, take my another pair of pliers. I'm taking a flat nose pliers here, and this is rather a big jump ring. I intentionally did it because I don't want to be using a smaller jump ring for my big lobster claw clasp. So I just want to put this inside this. It's just like, in the back also we have an element from the front, which is from the pendant. It's just a little bit of a decoration. It doesn't have to be that way. I use 2 jump rings just in case I don't want to settle with one. Just for security purposes, make sure it's completely closed, back and forth wiggle, and this one right here also, go ahead, back and forth wiggle, and make sure it's completely closed and flush. There we go. If you want, you can add one more jump ring, but I think it's good. This one is good. So this side is done. So what I want to do is I want to push all the beads down that side. Make sure everything is perfect. There is no gap. I don't want to see any gap. There we go. So push everything. This is your time to check everything. If everything is good, nice and good, watch how you like it and everything. So that's what I'm doing. So go ahead and snip off this wire, just like a inch or so here. You don't need more than that. I worked with a spool just because I can do this big. You don't have to waste anything. You just finish one end and come up with the other end. I'm putting my crimp tube and my lobster claw clasp and coming back through the crimp tube and probably a 11 seed bead. If it's not going through, it's okay. Don't have to worry. Take your pliers and then pull that tail so you'll get a loop. When you're happy with the loop, go ahead and pull this wire like this. See how it is crisscrossing? That means it's crisscrossing inside the crimp tube, which we don't want to. So keep it in parallel like this and then go ahead and crimp it. See, there is a tad bit of a distance which I want to keep because otherwise your necklace will be very, very rigid, which we don't want to have it. Let me just zoom out a little bit more, and then this is what my necklace looks like. It's going to go ahead and come and clasp here, right? I really like this closure. As you guys can see, it's pretty. So this is my closure and this is my necklace. I hope you guys like this. If you do, give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, the algorithm and everything. So and then hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. We saw this necklace. I want to make a matching earring for this necklace, and so I came up with this. I really like the way it turned out to be. It ties out nicely with the necklace and the pendant. So for this, what I'm going to use is these 2 beads. This is a 6 by 8 millimeter roundel or 8 by 10, I'm not so sure. And this is that candy kind of a bead that I used in the pendant. I really like them. So I have this, some daisy spaces that we used in the pendant, and this one as well. So again, for this I'm not using a head pin. I'm going to use a 20 gauge wire, and I'm going to use about say 6 inches. That's enough. So I'm going to use about say 6 inches. So here I go. First I start with making a wrap loop on the top. Doesn't have to be big because it's a earring. So here I go. You can also use your pliers to help you with this. So I like to turn it upside down because it's easy for me to hold on to. I already made a loop. There we go. Once you get that straight, straighten up your loop as well. Okay. Once you have that, take your pliers if you want to squish that loop of yours close to each other, and I say adjust my loop that way. This is and then add my bead, and then a spacer, and then my square bead, okay. Sometimes the beads hole will be a little bit funny, but you can fix it. There we go. So now at this point of time, go ahead, take your round nose pliers, keep it at a distance because we want this kind of a short gap, and then a decent enough loop because you want to actually put this thick jump ring or decorative ring, whatever you want to call, or a spacer bead. That's what it is, I guess. So and then I want this to not be tight, so I have that loop adjuster right there, and then I have, let's see how much I did, just one wrap. Okay, and then I bring it out here and then go ahead and bring it on top just like so, and then snip it off. I had a little bit short tail, so I didn't go all the way up, which I really like. Earring, you don't want that to be very heavy. I just wanted to wrap. Okay, now you need to adjust the way this loop looks. Okay, we want this to be so. You can adjust this accordingly. No. There we go. So I want this to be seen as well as this in the flat, and then there. So now take a ear wire, open up the loop in the ear wire just how you would open a jump ring, and then add this to the ear wire. Our earring is done. So see how pretty this looks. It's very simple, but at the same time it's nice and elegant, and then it matches with my earrings. I hope you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day and bye. Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. This is a jewelry making fun collab by Dahlia Designs, and Deb is the host, and she has been doing this for the past 2 years. And I'm a little late today. Like, I normally it would come on the 18th of every month at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I was a little late. My friend had a surgery, and I had some things in the house going on, but it's okay to be late than to be sorry, right? So here it is at around, say, 1 o'clock in the day. So I made this. So the challenge for this month is you have to use autumn colors: orange, yellow, red, green, and brown, which I did. And then jasper or agate gemstones is an option. I didn't use those. Neither did I incorporate leaves, leaf charms, leaves and resin and stuff like that. But I really had this one here, so I wanted to do a wrap right here, but it is in the back, so it is not going to be visible. So I just left that idea, but I will make sure I make something else and upload as well. So this is the earrings that I made, and I used the yellow, orange, and then brown, and here you can see brown. And the green, I used only these seed beads because it's green. I hope it is picking up in the camera, but it is green, trust me. That's the only green I'm using. Orange, yellow, brown, and green, all fall colors. I used some bugle beads and some leaven of seed beads. And this one is a wire wrapped pendant that I made with JC James beads, and it's really nice. And I made this this is huge. This is 20 millimeter or so, and I wire wrapped, and I went up and did this pendant just moves, and it's like a 24-inch necklace. It's a sweater necklace, of course. Fall is in season, right? So I made this matching earrings to go with this pendant. I used the browns, the yellows, and I didn't use the rest of the colors, but I did use all of those. I hope you guys like my jewelry set that I made, the necklace and the earrings. I will leave down the description box below the channels which are participating in this jewelry making fun collab, down in the description box below for you guys. Do check them out. Give this video a thumbs up, it will help my channel, and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for notification. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.